guys, welcome back to Candid Convos with Anna B. If it's your first time, please do subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for continuing to watch our videos. So today we are going to be talking about mental health. I get a few clients and I found that people struggle to be open with the person they're in a relationship with about their mental health, whether they're married or they're just dating, and we thought we'd talk about that. So yeah, what do you have to say about it?
Well, as a guy, I think it's particularly, I guess it's a pertinent subject, I'll put it that way, because you find that as guys, we generally don't talk, you know. I think in most couples, I think there are exceptions to every rule, but in most couples, guys are generally the quieter ones. They're more reserved. So, and especially when it comes to things like mental health, you know, just out in society. I mean, we now live in a society where people say, no, it's okay, you can talk about it, but you still get the sense of feeling that there are people who still hold back because, yes, even if I talk about it, I think I'll still be viewed in a certain way, or people will think I'm crazy, or I might not get a job the next time I apply for it because I said I had issues with my mental health. So I think in as much as the society is opening up to it, there is still that stigma associated with it, even if it is ever so subtle and maybe not overt. So that is that. So then you can imagine then taking that then into the family, when you're the man or the guy of the house and you're supposed to be the one who's taking care of everything and handling everything, and that's how we've been raised to. And there's really, you know, we're growing up with what men don't cry, you know, and then now we're in a society where they say, hey,
open up,
cry us a river, do all that, and you'd be like, whoa, but how will I be seen? You know, like when you associate this mental health thing, you sort of, I think it's closely associated with your manhood. You know, like if I'm a man, if I can handle tough situations, then I'm a man, so I must be able to deal with it. But you know, of course, there are some situations where it is okay to open up, and especially with your spouse, you know, that's the one person in this world that you're going to walk through life with, and your best friend, basically. So if you can't share with her or him, then who can you share with?
And it's interesting that you say that, because remember that program we did on marriage where they was saying that a lot of people are married, but they're not connected. They're living as roommates, or you're tolerating each other. Some are just saying to themselves, okay, I got myself into this and there's no getting out of it because of my children and all that. So it becomes more of a prison because you're not willing to actually do something to grow your relationship. And I wanted us to talk about it because it's something we also learned, that we didn't realize that just making that time for the two of you is important, and not on a monthly basis or 2 months or yearly, but being intentional about it, to do it every few weeks, you know, like you mentioned, to say it's sometimes as a woman you're thinking, okay, my husband is going through something, or the person I'm dating is going through something, but they can't open up about it. You can tell even when you're having a conversation with them that they're not present, or they're worried about something, but when you ask, they're like, don't worry about it. And it ends up being stressful to you because you're like, okay, is something wrong with me? But we've also read on men and women being different. So can you share that so that you enlighten others who are maybe dating or married to a partner who doesn't open up, and it's a man, and they're genuinely asking what is going on, and they think they're being shut out, but men think differently from women. So help people understand that.
Yeah, I guess it's like you're talking about, you mentioned quite a few things. I'll try and cover them. Hopefully I remember
Sorry.
them. But like
okay, you can do the ones that you
remember. Sure.
Yeah.
I think what you're talking about, being intentional about spending time together. I know we were doing that, like that program you're talking about, and it talks about at least having a date night at least once a month. That it's a must. It's not an option. You should definitely have time where you're alone as a couple. Basically, you're dating, like whatever you. I think in a simple way to put it, what you were doing before you got married, I guess basically courting again, you know, but the courtship process should not stop. No kids, you're not talking about bills, you're not talking about homework, all this sort of thing. It's just you two, you know, how it started. So I think that helped. That is very important. And I think but I also, on top of that, I think the date night is good once a month, but I think even the once a month is not enough. And I think it's where possible, because I know some couples, not every couple you stay together all the time. Maybe the husband or the wife travels or you work shifts, so you're not always together 100% of the time. But in as much as you can, I think it's really important from experience to, on a daily basis, to have something that you do together, be it 20 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, where the kids are not involved. Like, we do our thing where we read a book every day, we go through a chapter, we discuss it, we pray about it, and then, from that discussion, we talk about how it affects us in our lives. So we have that time where we're being intimate and being open with one another. So I think on a daily basis, then if you then have the date night at the end, that's like the icing on the cake, then it really cements that strong bond and that relationship. And I think it makes it easier even for like us, like I was saying, guys are more reluctant to share. I guess it's easier for you to share when it's not something new to you or something that's infrequent. You're used to doing it. I know we're in this mode, we're together, we're alone, we can talk about anything. We know we're all good. I know you, I know you know me, we've been together on this journey thus far. So I think it makes that easier to share, and I think that closeness. So yeah, that's what I can remember. I don't know if you said anything else, but yeah.
I wanted to say to you, so if you go to your partner and you say, what's going on? And they just tell you, nothing's wrong, I'm sorting it out. Should you be okay with that answer, or you should continue to find out what is going on? Like, should you persist, or should you just decide, you know what, I've tried, that's it?
Okay, I think that's a situational issue on a case-by-case basis. No two couples are the same. And in what I would say is like I go back to what I was talking about earlier. When you've got that thing you do together every day, or almost whenever you're together, you've got that thing, you're always talking. So even if you have a problem, you can raise it in such an environment, in such a space. And if you don't have that, because some people may say, no, but we don't do that, we haven't gotten there yet, it should really just be something you decide there and then you start doing. But if you haven't gotten there yet, it's one of those things where I would think you should be saying like, look, are you okay? Oh, no, I'm fine. Or like, okay, you're saying you're fine, but just to be honest, I've noticed you seem reserved, or you seem like something is going on. If there's an issue, please let me know. And then maybe the other spouse might say, okay, no, I'm not feeling okay, but I'm just sorting out some issues. I'll talk to you. Maybe we'll talk about it in the evening, or we'll talk about it tomorrow or on the weekend. Then at least you're on the same page. Like. I think that makes it, there's no anxiety on the other side. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know when this volcano is going to erupt, if it even will. So I think that will help out in those situations.
I guess it also goes back to the communication, to say it's important to just say, at least something is going on with me. I know even with me and you, even when I'm going through something and I don't want to open up about it in the moment, I'm just like, dude, give me space, and it works because there's some things that you need to process before you open up. And the same goes with you, to say there's something, like, you're an introvert, and sometimes the few times that you are not in a good mood, you just want to be left alone. And I guess that's why you said it's important to just base it more on your partner, because it's different. People are different. But I guess the encouragement would be for us to say, get to know each other. Don't be satisfied with, just saying, we're in the same home, we have the same surname, we have kids together, but we are actually being intentional about getting to know each other. And we found when we started that journey, it just didn't happen automatically, right?
No.
Yeah, so we had times we'd show up, other times we wouldn't. But we also were intentional about the spiritual part, because we connected through prayer. Like, the books we read that have helped us to even grow, things that we didn't know, like this date night thing of making sure you're intentional about it. We're actually laughing and we were saying there are things that you take for granted and you just think, we are together. So, hey, he works from home, I'm at home, so we spend a lot of time. But we found that it was actually saying, find out those dreams that you had, if you're still, accomplishing them or something like that. What did he say?
Which part exactly?
goodness.
You threw me there.
No, I was saying when you're having the date nights, make sure that you also talk about the dreams that you had, the plans, so that you also find out if you're still on track.
Oh, yes. Now I remember. Yeah. I think, yes. Again, I think it goes back to pre-children, pre-family, pre-all that. Like, what were your hopes? What were your dreams? And, like, oh, no, I wanted to do this. I want to do that. And, you're telling each other all those things when you're sitting alone. And now you've got family, reality has hit you. And you be like, okay, but are you still on that journey? And I think it helps in terms of motivating each other and encouraging each other. And you be like, you know what? That thing you used to talk about before when we were still dating, why don't you try it out? Why don't you go for it? I'm supporting you. I know the kids, we're now at this stage in our life, I'm sure we can create a time, or maybe we can, if you need to do this over the weekends or over during the week, if you need an hour, we can work around and make that and, create that environment where you can do that. And that way you're supporting each other. And I think that's where it goes back to that, because you're talking and communicating on a daily basis, you have that environment where you flourish and where you deal with things and you can be close to each other and you can be intimate, and that just
Yeah, and I just remembered what I had also asked you about the mental health part, to say I was talking to someone and they were just mentioning that it is easier to tell a stranger the mental health issues you're going through than to tell the person that you're with, because sometimes, like, maybe I come and tell you and say, Brighton, I'm struggling mentally, I can't even get up and clean, and your partner is like, what the hell?
I wouldn't say that.
No, but a person looks at you like, what is wrong with you?
I get.
They were saying it is hard to then open up to say, Sha, you're going through seasons where mentally you just need a break. So how can couples start talking about that? What's the importance of actually making sure you understand?
On that, I think what I would say is that would be symptomatic that there is something wrong in the relationship, and it would show you that in that particular subject in your relationship, you cannot be vulnerable, you cannot open up to each other to that level. Maybe that's why we talk about, remember when we talked with Pastor Ngwaru back then, he was talking about intimacy. Intimacy goes beyond just being physical. Yeah. It's more than that. You can open up and share your fears and, like, what is really going on. Like, what, I'm really having a hard time at work. I'm trying to figure some things out and I don't know what to do about this, or, I'm just not because you've got a solution, but just being able to open up. So, if you know that we talk frequently and communicate on multiple levels, you can know that you can come to me and say, look, I am just really going through, can you help me do this today I'm just on an off day, and it's fine, because you are in an environment where you can open up and it's all good. But I think it's building up to that, but it starts from being intentional about creating that time together. The more you have of that time together, I think the easier it is to then express those issues when they do come up. Whenever you've got challenges, you know what, I can actually lean on this person because they'll be there for me.
Okay, I just remembered what Pastor Ngwaru said, that there's some hard conversations that you just need to have as a couple. If you know that you're struggling mentally, you just need to be open with your partner and tell them, you know what, I'm struggling, I'm tired of being strong, I need a break, I need to get help. And you will find that it will help you. Yes, sometimes it's awkward at the beginning, but just putting your foot down and saying, I'm going to get the help that I need, or I need you to help with certain things, will help you in the long run in your marriage. And
this should be something that I guess it's just starting conversations and opening up. But I think the key is, at the bottom line is, being in a relationship, I think it can be said to be trite that, oh no, we've heard it all before. There's there's the husband, the wife, and God who keeps you together. And people say, we've heard it all before. It doesn't. But that is really the truth. Marriage was instituted by God, and He's the one who created it. So He knows how best to deal with it. So involving Him in it, I think, is really important in terms of getting that satisfaction and that joy and that happiness that comes, because you can't do it on your own. Because there are times when you will just look at your person and you'll be like, my goodness, and I mean the same likewise. I'm not saying anything about her. Because I know I'm equally guilty of that there are times when I can really drive her up the wall. it's just one of those things. That's just life. People will do that. You'll have to be in different moods at different times, and you can just really but that's the thing, getting along, that communication, it really helps, because it's easy to communicate when you're in good times. So really work on that. When you're in good times, really make it the best you possibly can, so that in bad times you can get through it, because it's routine. It's something that is part of that dynamic of your relationship, because you really need each other. That's the whole idea of coming together. That is the whole point, that you're choosing this is the one person you choose to walk through life with. So I'm saying, look, I'm gonna need you to support me through life, and I'm going to support you through life. So then do that. That's what you pledged when you got married in front of all those witnesses. So yeah,
that is so true. And I guess it still goes to friendship. It's great to have a friendship with someone you're married to. If you don't have it, it's not too late to start. Like a new friend that you meet, you just start getting to know each other again. Put your phones aside, spend even 10 minutes where you're genuinely engaged in the conversation you're having with someone. And I just wanted to end by saying, perfection is an illusion. Just make sure that you're not comparing yourself to something that you're seeing on social media or something you're seeing in a movie. Make sure that that marriage takes work, but it takes two people not giving up on each other and trying to find ways to improve their marriage. Like Brighton says, no one knows it all, but it's deciding. When someone does something you don't like, you speak up, you talk about it, you get that external help if you can't solve things, the two of you. But at the end of the day, it's important that we all take care of our mental health. We may be one, but we're still individuals, and there's nothing as draining as expecting someone else to be the one that completes you. You need to be complete yourself so that your marriage is able to what's the word? To flow, to make sure that your marriage flows. So thank you everyone for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Until next time, bye.
cheers.